everyone, and good morning. It's wonderful to have you with us this Friday morning, this bright Friday, February morning. Thank you for joining us. My name's Hilary. I am the CEO here at NAPA and the host for this morning's live broadcast. We are live across NAPA's comms channels, so please use the chat. Tell us where you are, where in the country you are, where in the world you are, in fact. And if you have any questions, we will do our best to answer them during the course of the next 20 minutes or so. I am absolutely delighted today to be joined by a very, very special guest, somebody who I have actually met in person, despite the fact she lives very, very far away. Nancy Brown, who is Communications Director and Validation Teacher, is joining me from Israel this morning. Good morning, Nancy.
Good morning, Hilary.
How are you?
Good. And so thrilled to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
It's lovely to have you here. And you're going to tell us a little bit about your work, obviously, but also about this exciting partnership that we're launching today. Do you want to just start us off telling us a little bit about your work, about the Institute, and what sits at the heart of the validation approach?
Great. Thank you for this opportunity to share with your audience about a very exciting partnership that the Validation Training Institute and NAPA has designed. The Validation Training Institute was founded on the work of Naomi Feil, an extraordinary human being who challenged traditional dementia care. She was asking a radical question at that time, nearly 50 years ago. What if disorientation with older adults isn't something to correct, but something to understand and to explore? Validation teaches us how to make that happen. At the heart of validation is a belief that every single person is unique and worthwhile. And there's a reason behind the behavior, that all behavior is a form of communication. We don't try to bring people back to reality. We don't believe in diversion or redirection, but we use emotive empathy, respect, and skilled communication. We concentrate in validation on emotion and not facts. It's not just a set of techniques. Validation is an attitude. It's a relational approach to our work and a structured method that restores dignity to the older person and provides confidence in you, the practitioner, who has to deal with a variety of issues throughout the day. So, bottom line, validation teaches us to genuinely and exquisitely listen, not just to words, but to emotions.
Yeah, absolutely. The feelings and emotions
behind
communication. And I think that's what's always stayed with me about my reading and understanding of validation. I can't believe 50 years. That's amazing. 50 years.
Extraordinary.
And that the Validation Institute is carrying on in Naomi's name is wonderful to see. And this next kind of phase in its development as well. So thank you that's a bit of an overview. I know there's loads of information on the website about the history and about the approach. So we do obviously in these live chats a bit of an overview, but those who are listening, please go and have a really, really good dig and look at all of the information that's on the website. So in terms of activity providers, obviously that's the roles that we champion here at NAPA. Why do you think this particular approach, the validation approach, is helpful for APs? And particularly those working with people with dementia, what is it that it brings to activity provision, do you think?
APs are the emotional anchors of your communities. You know that, even though it may not be stated and reinforced. What you see every single day, the frustration, the withdrawal, the repetitive questions, the grief, and the resistance to participation. And what validation will give you are tools to respond to distress, language for emotionally complex moments, ways to deepen engagement and activity participation, and confidence in the skills that you've developed that you can really handle most any emotionally powered communication. And instead of asking yourself or your staff, how do I get them to join this activity? validation helps you to ask a different kind of question. What is this person feeling? What is the unmet need that they are going through? And what are they trying to tell me? And how can I be with them in this moment to explore those feelings? What skills do I need? What questions do I ask to get into that deeper communication? I have been a practitioner for over 20 years. I work every single day, just like your audience, just like all of you do. Uh, but my work is in a full-time memory day center. And I've seen that when my staff uses validation, engagement becomes deeper. Participation becomes more meaningful, and even group dynamics shift. I am very fortunate to have a coworker who is validation trained, and we have mentored and coached our volunteers, our interns, anyone who comes into a room and sees what's going on in our room. I work particularly with people in moderate to advanced dementia, and validation works amazingly with this population. It transforms activities from something we as activity professionals deliver into something that's co-created. I see this happen on a daily basis. It stimulates creativity among the staff. They get new ideas when they see the clients come alive. And the clients have a different kind of energy among themselves. And you see participation in a totally different light when you integrate that with validation skills, and you see endless possibilities.
Yeah. I think what you're describing is really interesting because it's about engagement, isn't it? And it's about that quality of engagement. And if people feel valued and listened to, then actually their connections with each other also strengthen. And I think, you see that, don't you? You can feel, as you say, that energy in a space where everybody is valued and listened to, that it's not just about the relationships between staff and people living with dementia, but between the people living with dementia. And that's quite powerful, I think. That's really powerful. And that's about culture, isn't it? That's about the culture of the space.
Absolutely.
That people, their identity is really being respected, and how they are feeling in the moment, and from moment to moment.
Absolutely. I work in an environment, and I know many of the activity providers do as well, where it's an immigrant community. I work with every single day with people who have different languages. Their first language is not English, for instance. We have people who were originally born in Iraq and Iran and Yemen and Algeria and Morocco and all parts of Europe. And so we have to speak to that culture, to that language, what resonates with them. And while now they have a common language of English for the most part, when they are stressed, they will revert back to their first language. Of course, many of us do not understand. So that is where the validation techniques become so powerful, because we can connect on an emotional level. What does their facial features and their body language express to us? And how can we mirror that and be with them emotionally in that moment? And validation techniques speak to that. And that's what's very powerful, even with people with advanced dementia.
And those techniques, those things that we learn with validation, they're actually techniques we can use with everybody. They're not just about how you communicate with people living with dementia, but how we communicate with each other, isn't it? And that's really powerful too. I think from a team perspective, the diverse workforces that we, the wonderfully diverse workforces that we're all, that we are experiencing every day, that validation helps with that too. It helps us get to know each other, doesn't it? And I think that's really important now more than ever. That's really, really important.
And the basic validation attitude and what we call prerequisite techniques, which we'll focus a lot on in this particular course, is can be used with anyone. You practice with anyone, everyone. And like you said, Hillary, staff is so very important. Communication and respect and having really emotive empathy for those you work with is so important for that team effort. And those kinds of skills can help you change the culture of an organization. These are skills you can practice with your family, with your children, with your friends. They work at all spectrum. And while Naomi developed the validation method primarily for late onset, people living with late onset cognitive change, it is also very effective with people with young onset. And I know that is a growing population. I know I have many late onset, young onset people in my particular clientele, and it is effective as well with everyone.
Yeah. And that's, it's just music. I could just talk to you all day. I know we've got a limited amount of time. I've talked to you all day about the approach, but let's talk a little bit about our partnership, because we're very excited about it. What is it about this partnership that's exciting you?
What excites me the most about this partnership is that NAPA understands that providing activities is not just entertainment. It is skilled, it is relational, and it is emotionally intelligent work. And that needs to be respected and recognized. Validation aligns beautifully with NAPA's emphasis on culture. I know this is the year of the culture, your theme this year, creativity and meaningful engagement. Together, we're offering something that is not just theoretical, it's immediately usable and practical. And after every single block, after every single webinar, participants will be able to take away very specific skills and techniques that they can practice and then share the next time we meet. I want to emphasize that this is designed for a UK audience very specifically. It is not just, we just didn't pop in a US or any other kind of format into this particular course. Live webinars. It is interactive. This is not just someone lecturing or me lecturing to anybody. No, I want interaction. From this particular course, you'll get professional recognition. You'll receive a certificate from the Validation Training Institute of having accomplished this particular course, and you become a member of the international validation community. Cultural sensitivity is very important in the work that we do. And I'm always happy to work in between webinars and whenever anyone needs help one-to-one whose first language is not English, because that's sometimes not easy in many courses that are offered.
Yeah, fantastic. Is there any, of the way that the program works, you share a little bit about what activity providers can expect from the course and how it will support their practice?
Exactly. Participants will learn the core validation attitude. We'll practice key communication techniques. We will apply validation in real life scenarios. I want the activity providers to bring their own cases and their own questions. This isn't a passive webinar, it's interactive, it's reflective, and grounded in real life practice. I can't emphasize that enough. They will be able to develop confidence in emotionally charged situations. And in fact, you'll be the ones that people will go to. How do I handle this? How do I handle this? This person is in crisis. I don't know what to do. Yeah. You'll reflect on your own communication patterns. Communication in the validation context is just not sitting down with a resident and having a nice chat. While that's very important, that's not, we go beyond that in validation. Through our communication techniques, we explore the emotions that are expressed, and we'll examine a variety of communication styles and focus on what works best for people living with dementia. And also in my own practice, I know that many of you use different methods in your practice, and so do I. However, in my experience, validation techniques enhance all other methods. They make them even better and even more effective. And participants often tell us that they leave not only with new skills, but feeling more confident and re-energized about their work.
Yeah, that's a really important message, I think, because it doesn't mean you only do validation.
Right.
Actually, validation enhances your communication skills more generally. And I think a lot of the activity providers that we work with at NAPA are supporting people who are cared for in bed, who have sensory needs around advanced dementia. And so I think having that toolkit of approaches, so you can be really person-centered about what the person needs in the moment, as we said, because that might change over time, is what we're all about, isn't it? It's about being equipped, having as much as we possibly can at our fingertips. So for those who are sitting watching us today and they're thinking, oh, this sounds just right for me, what's next? How can they book onto the course?
Okay. The classroom platform opens on the 25th of February, with the first live webinar being on Friday the 13th. Webinars are every 2 weeks with homework in between to reinforce skills and provide practice. We encourage people to register early. Please bring a friend, a fellow staff member, because learning and practicing validation in groups is very valuable. Payments are available. I know that's important in our present economy, and discounts are available for groups within a community. Mike, I think you're going to put the link to the page that you can learn more about the details of the course itself. You can also contact your local NAPA office, or please contact me directly. Mike will put my email, my validation email, available to you so that you can contact me personally if you have any questions whatsoever about this particular course.
Brilliant, thank you. And they'll all appear in the chat, so they will be there all the time when people watch this later. They'll be able to see the link to book and also Nancy's direct email address. But you can always, as we said, call the NAPA team or drop us an email, and we'll be able to help you too.
Exactly.
Do we have any questions from the audience? Mike's backstage helping us. Let's just see if we've got 1 or 2 questions coming in.
Erica signed up already. Erica, thank you.
Well done, Erica. Fantastic.
Welcome. I look forward to meeting you.
Brilliant. So I'm not sure if you can see a question. Here we go. Matt, do you have to attend every session to pass the course?
It is encouraged. Without question, I know that life happens, and there are times when work demands that you don't. Work with me individually as those kinds of situations come up, and we will work something out.
Okay, great. But I think because of the nature of the course, obviously it gathers momentum, doesn't it, over time. So to be able to, if you can commit to all of them, then you're getting the most out of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Another question I think coming in. Brilliant. Claire, is this course basic or advanced level? Interesting.
According to the Validation Training Institute, our advanced classes, what we call our advanced classes, are our certification courses. However, this particular course is unique. Validation Training Institute has no other course like this because we focus on activities. And as a validation teacher, I look at what you need. If you are working with people with advanced dementia, I need to provide skills that you can work with that particular audience. Yes, we have a particular guidelines. Yes, we have basic skills that we will go over, but we will meet your needs and what it is that you need in terms to do your work more effectively.
Excellent. Good. I suppose some people are bringing, aren't they, their experience with them, and they said that's whilst there's those basic guidelines, you'll be able to support people where they're at. I think
we learn together.
Yeah. I think another one. Jamie, what are the course fees, please? Good question. We always need to know how much things cost.
Oh yeah. Bottom line, what's it going to cost? It is £185. But payments are available, so we can definitely work that out with our VTI manager. So please, if that is something that you're interested in, we can definitely get you connected with that. But it's 12 weeks, 6 live webinars that are every 2 weeks. With a little bit of homework that's not too onerous, but it really does help to anchor the skills and gives us a platform for the next webinar to share. And that you'll bring your experiences, the challenges, your successes that you have each week.
Yeah. Sounds wonderful. Thank you so much, Nancy. Look at that, dead on 11:20. We timed it beautifully. Thank you so much for sharing all of that. As we've said, please feel free to drop Nancy a note or to get in touch with NAPA if you want any more information. If you need a little bit of a business case to inform your funding application, if you're asking employers to support you with this, please just let us know how we can help with that. And thank you to everybody who's joined us this morning. We hope you have a wonderful weekend. Happy Valentine's Day for tomorrow. Sending love. We're sending love out for Valentine's Day. And if today has sparked your interest, please do explore this course. I think it really is going to be, it's a first. It's a national first, just for APs, an open course here in the UK. Right. So thank you very, very much, Nancy. And thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Bye for now. Bye-bye.
Bye.